Chili dogs.
My goodness, what just happened?
Wait a minute, that voice.
That voice, could it be?
Let me turn you around. Caliburn?
Sir Sonic! This is quite a surprise. I never expected to see you again after so long. Where have you
Same
been?
here. Well, I've been busy in my world. Sorry I couldn't be King Arthur for your world.
Yes, it is very understandable. You have your own responsibilities back here in your world. So, mind telling me what exactly happened? I have absolutely no idea how I got here. One minute I was just relaxing, as any magical sword would, but suddenly I just got randomly pulled here for whatever reason, and I am so confused.
I have no idea either. I was just sleeping and then you just pop in my room and stab my bed, by the way.
Yeah, I apologize for that. I don't know if I'll be able to cover the damages.
It's fine, I could get that stitched up or whatever, and, I actually was planning on buying a new mattress anyway. It's kinda uncomfortable, but, yeah, since you're here, I could call Tails to see if he could, fix what's going on.
Perhaps, yes. That could be that could be a wonderful idea. So, in the meantime, while we wait for him, I guess, how about we do something fun to pass the time?
Something fun? You? Wanting to do something fun? Okay, we'll do something. I have an idea in mind.
Let's just say a bit of your carefree attitude has been starting to rub off on me. So, what is your idea?
I do have a game that we could play, and also, you might not have this in your time. We have a thing called the internet, and let's say, it's a worldwide, thing. It's a lot. I'll explain to you afterwards, but, let's get to the video.
Yes.
Alright. Hey guys, Sonic here, and, I'm kinda with a friend at a moment from one of my old adventures. Say hello, Caliburn.
Yes. Hello, knaves of the internet. It is I, Caliburn.
Yep, he randomly appeared in my room, and, he's just, yeah, he kinda stabbed my bed by accident on his way in here. We don't know why he's here, but I'll ask Tails to see if he can figure it out. But,
yes.
On the other hand, Caliburn, this is a video game called Sonic World, and the thing is, luckily, we could add something called mods, so I could have you in the game along with me, like old times.
You mean to tell me you can have me in this game, as you like to call it?
Yeah, let's say, it's kind of hard to explain how video games work from, since you're from a different time, and stuff, and I'm from a modernish time.
I see. In that case, this will be a very fascinating learning experience. Sign me up!
Alright, let's do it to it! And I already have a decent level to start us off, Kingdom Valley, something to, to match the old times where you come from.
Yes, of course. This will be quite a fascinating little experience. Now, tally-ho! Let's get to work!
Alright, let's do it to it! And we're waiting for a long loading screen. Of course. Right when I'm pumped up and ready to run.
Sir Sonic, I hate to be a bit of a downer, but where's the game?
It's doing something as we call loading. Yeah, it's real fun. Alright. Alright, here we are!
Yes, of course.
Since Caliburn can't technically play, because he has no hands, I'm just doing all the work a little bit while he's just slicing and dicing with me.
Ah, yes, slicing and dicing, just like back in the good old days.
Yeah, when we versed King Arthur and his monsters and stuff.
Ah,
Well, the King
indeed.
Arthur, that was the fake one, and then, yeah.
Ah, yes, of course. He sure had what was coming to him back then, though, I'll just admit that.
Yeah, and then
So-
what was crazy was finding out Morlina was the one behind it.
Ah, yeah, quite unfortunate what happened to that poor gal, but at least it was all resolved in the end. Sadly,
Question, how's she been, by the way, ever since the adventure we went on?
She's been... Okay, you know what, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, she's not exactly been in the best of moods.
Oh, something bad happening, I guess?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say anything bad happening to her. I mean, like, you know, to her specifically. However, she has been expressing to me something very, very strange. If you give me some time to... Yes, if you give me some time to remember, I will inform you as to what it is. But in the meantime... so, could you tell me a bit more about this Kingdom Valley, exactly?
Let's say I kind of went on an adventure at one point, and it led to me, yeah, kind of having a situation went on, and yeah, pretty much that's all.
Are you sure? You seem to be sweating quite a bit.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, don't worry about it at all.
Sir Sonic, you remember that one of the very many codes that a knight follows is that he must never tell a lie. Now, spit it.
Okay, I had a human kiss me. You wanted to know! You wanted to know, Caliburn! You wanted to know! And the thing is, I will tell you, I did not consent. So I was dead, by the way.
I beg your pardon? Things like this would have her sent to the guillotine.
Yeah, it was a crazy situation, and, yeah.
That certainly explains one reason why you haven't been around as much. Anyway, so I'm guessing that was really it in terms of that situation?
Well, there was a whole lot more. I went on a whole bunch of other adventures. I turned into a werehog. I turned into... wait, that was way before I met you. And I basically went to another storybook universe where basically I was, you know, met a genie and stuff. And yes, I know. And I kind of, let's just say, went back in time and met my younger self. And there was a war and there was a whole bunch of other things you've missed.
Okay, but hold on a second. You went to another storybook? Without me?
I'm sorry, once I popped out of that world, I couldn't come back and come and grab you, and plus, I was kind of pulled in at the time, and then I was cursed, and then I was cursed to have something like a flame on me for quite a while, and the thing is, I had a genie that was, my sidekick that really didn't do anything half the time and actually tried betraying me at the end, and yeah, it's a lot to take in.
I swear, if I didn't know any better, this sounds an awful lot like the kind of tongue that someone that has been eating poison mushrooms would be speaking in my world.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of other people from the world, how's the other, oh god, and the game glitched and we fell through the floor.
What source of dark magic was that?
That's what we call a glitch. It happens. And it happened again!
I beg your pardon, but who cursed this one road to be, like, phased through, or whatever?
I have something called, I have no idea. Anyway, just jump through here, and come on, can I hit the ring?
I have no clue. Is there even a... Oh, never mind.
Alright,
anyway,
now we can make it through. And, as I was saying before the thing that interrupted us, How's the other knights doing? Like, the round table?
Oh yes, they believe it or not, they actually disbanded after all that happened, and have since then really been going into freelance work, just, doing their own thing. They're mostly still, helping people out, being heroic and all, but you get the idea.
I'm proud of them. Ever since I met them, they do remind me of some people I know in my world. Let's say, what was their... I kind of forgot their names. It's been a while,
Yes. Sadly, I haven't met up with them for quite some time either, so I can't quite remember. But oh well, these things happen.
Yeah.
Just give me a little bit. Just give me a little bit of time to jog my memory, and I'll figure it all out. But anyway, so, what about this adventure you mentioned about being a werehog?
Let's say it was kind of way before I met you and stuff, and like the Earth was cracked into pieces because a mad scientist from my world, my bad guy I told you about, Eggman, he sort of cracked the Earth into pieces, and then basically a sun god and a dark being from down below had a whole situation, and I had to deal with the sun god and went on an adventure with him, and then pretty much.
A dark being from down below. You mean to tell me someone was trying to summon Lucifer? Do we need to take back the Holy Land?
No, not that guy. Have you ever heard of something called Dark Gaia of sorts?
I only remember hearing about him in ancient texts.
Let's say I kind of fought him and defeated him.
You fought and defeated an ancient god of darkness?
Yep.
I must say, you are far more powerful than I ever truly imagined you to be, Sir Sonic. And I commend you for that.
Thanks.
Ah, yes, it's no problem. Anywho, so, what about this, meeting yourself from the past? Time travel, I'm presuming? Well, I mean, to be fair, when you came to my time period, obviously I could tell that you, traveled through time just to find me, so, what exactly about this past version of yourself?
Okay,
Tell me a bit
so
more about
long story short, just to inform you, like, basically, there's this being called the Time Eater, and, like, he kinda... Eggman took control of this creature, and then kinda went back through my history and messed with the fabric of our world, and sort of made me had to go through my past events and meet my classic self, who is what we call Classic Sonic, who is my younger self.
Time Eater. This sounds like a very fascinating spell of some kind, or a very fascinating form of sorcery. I don't remember reading anything about that in the ancient texts.
Yeah, let's say a lot of other stuff happened, and then the war, as I was saying, that was happening, and also we finished the stage while we were talking.
Ah, yes, of course. But what exactly about this war? Was there were there crusaders all over the place?
Let's say I kinda got my butt kicked in the first part of the war. Let's say a new enemy arrived, and he had this thing called the Phantom Ruby, yada yada yada. He was just this guy that was crying because he was weak, and then basically he he got mad over it and teamed up with Eggman, and then took over everything, and then basically we had to clean up the whole mess.
This man that joined Eggman because he was crying over being defeated. He sounds like even more of a knave than you were when you started out.
Yeah. He was something. That's all I had to say. But I learned in time to defeat him. He was easy.
Of course. That's wonderful to hear. So, now that I think about it, I do have a bit of a decent memory as to what I was going on about earlier. So, I guess I'll go ahead and bring it up here now while I can still remember it. So, if I remember correctly, what me and Merlina have been having to deal with as of late, let's just say there have been, okay. We've been having these strange premonitions, as you can call them. Premonitions of an unknown entity that, well, let's just say from what I remember, these premonitions involved seeing this big red beast wielding a hammer. The whole world was on fire, and he was standing behind a broken, gigantic emerald and the remains of a massive shrine, amongst you and all of your other friends.
Huh. That sounds like something that you hear in a very, interesting movie. But oh yeah, you don't know what those are yet. But, let's say, that sounds very interesting and something to prepare for, I guess.
Yes, do you happen to know any strange red beings since you've fought off against sorcery that is able to manipulate the very fabric of time and a being made of pure darkness?
I've only known a few red guys. There's one that's annoying. It was this big, Zeti dude. Have you ever heard of these creatures called Zeti?
Zeti. Let me see if I can try and jog my memory real quick. But, if I remember correctly, I think I've heard of the Zeti before. I don't know. Maybe they were these, I think they were these crusaders that once lived on this world long before they ended up migrating to a distant land that was lost time. I guess you could
The
call
Lost
it.
Hex.
Yes. They once roamed this world, and if I remember correctly, at some point or another, a war had sprouted between them and other descendants of the planet, eventually leading to the Zeti, being banished from this world and going to the Lost Hex. So, what about them?
Let's say I know one guy who fits your description. A big red guy who's very, let's just say, who thinks so highly of himself, but, he acts like he's all that. But I kicked his butt before. His name is Zavok.
Zavok. That is indeed a name to remember. I guess we could talk this over one more stage.
Yeah. We'll go to Crisis City. It's from one of my, weird adventures,
Oh, yes, I'm guessing you're talking about the adventure that you were talking to me about at first?
Yeah, that one. Let's say the future was kind of messed up at one point, and let's say the world was covered in lava, and yeah,
messed up.
A lot of people were dead.
Messed up? This is more than messed up. It's hell on earth.
Practically, yeah.
Are you sure that? Are you?
This future doesn't happen anymore. It got erased.
Yes, I can plainly see. It looks as though somebody tried to interpret the doctrine of chaos in some way, shape, or form and end up screwing it up very badly.
Yeah, let's say there was two things that were made by something that my pal Silver used to call me. Iblis Trigger, or so, I don't remember. It was a long time ago. He used to call me that about this lava guy, and then there was this other guy who actually was the one who killed me.
Killed you? Excuse me. Did you just say you died?
Yeah, I died, and then I got brought back.
That's impossible. You're the Knight of the Wind. I would not expect you to die by the hands of a knave.
Let's say this guy not so ordinary knave. He was, he looked like, you remember, the guy I told you that looked like one of the knights, my friend Shadow?
Yes, what of him?
He looked like him, but he was, creepy looking, and he was, that thing's other half, and then they became this ancient creature called Solaris?
Solaris. Okay, that's yet another name I remember from the ancient texts. When I get the chance, I need to read into all these ancient beings you are telling me about and see if I can gather up a bit more information, because this could be very interesting for the future.
Yeah, like, let's say I kind of fought a lot, defeated them with friends of mine, and let's say, made it out in the end.
Ah, yes. Well, I'm glad to see that you made it out in the end, old chum.
Alright.
Oh, by the way, about those premonitions I told you about, there's one more interesting little thing that I forgot to bring up.
Huh?
Of all things that I could have ever seen, there was one interesting individual that stood out among the rest. Every single one of you, you all looked normal, you all looked kind of like how you do now, things of that nature, but there was this one interesting individual that stood out amongst all the others. A particularly strange being that was standing next to this shadow fellow you keep telling me about. I believe he was very bright. He wore these gold bracelets around him. He was very green. He was very green. Oh! He had a gem in his chest.
Gem in his chest. Oh! You're talking about Quantix!
My lord, who is this Quantix?
Let's say, Zavok kind of gathered all the gems that were the most powerfulest and more or less brought them all together and tried to become a godlike being, but it failed on him and created my buddy Quantix.
Wait, so he's the creation of... So your friend Quantix is the creation of this red beast that I'm seeing these visions.
Practically, he's his son, but yeah.
I see. I think it's all starting to come together. Sir Sonic, may I ask you a question that may disturb you a slight bit?
Sure, what's up?
Do you think it's possible that this, Zavok could be potentially coming after his son?
If he does try anything, I'll be there to help him. I'll make sure I'll put Zavok back in his place, like I have many times before.
Right. Let's hope so, because from what I understand, as I mentioned in the previous premonition, he was rather terrifying. The entire world was set on fire. It was ablaze. It looked almost as if it was cracked into two halves.
The world's been broken before. I can fix that. I have before.
Well, so long as you say that you'll be able to get the problem fixed, then I shall trust you, Sir Sonic. You have always been such a valuable ally to me and a very good friend, and naturally this means that I can trust your judgment. So, you said that you were going to ask your friend Tails to, send me back to my world to figure out what we could do?
Yeah, and, if we're unable to send you back to your world, you might have to stay with me for a little while.
I was actually about to bring up that notion. Would it be possible that I could stay here for a while? Based on everything that I've been hearing, it is very likely that I may need to stay in case the time for action calls upon itself once again. So, it is very possible that whatever threat may be looming soon, it is possible that you may need my assistance for it.
Alright, I'm looking forward to it. It'd be like old times.
Exactly. And I can't even begin to imagine how... I gotta be honest. I really hate to say this, but it's been boring without you.
I'm touched.
Yes, it's just been so boring. I haven't known what to do for ages now, and I guess now that we're, back together again, this could probably be This could probably be a very good time for us to catch up on life.
Yeah, and you can learn about the modern era and stuff here, and all sorts of different things and what we do in this time. But I think we've reached the end for today's video. It was a lot of fun.
Yes, it was a lot of fun getting to reconnect with you, my old friend. So long as we're able to bring the ancient texts here, so that way I can study them a little further, I think I should be just fine staying with you a little longer.
Yeah. Well, anyway, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like the video, share this around with your family or friends, and make sure to click that notification bell to stay notified. Anything you gotta say before we go, Caliburn?
Well, so long as you... you know what? I actually have no idea, because I've never done anything like this before, but I guess you could probably say... so long as you go with the flow and cello your mellow, I guess you could say, you too can be a knight of the wind.
Well, anyway, see you later, everyone!
Goodbye, knaves!